Film is literature. We're here. As always, I'm Justin, and that on the other side is James. What's up, buddy?
Nothing much, nothing much. Mr. 2000 on this
Mr.
podcast.
Two Thou.
Mr.
Yes.
2000, Mr. 2000. How you
wearing your
doing?
wearing your Christmas outfit today.
Right. Merry Christmas for those who celebrate. Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa. Is there anything else I'm missing?
Dude, that's about the only ones I know.
And then for those who don't celebrate at all, Happy Day.
Yes, for those that don't celebrate at all, just have a great day.
Right.
Dude, so we picked another random movie off of Netflix that we're going to be talking about today, and I gotta say, I think we made a great choice. I'll let you go ahead and introduce the movie this time since I did the last one.
Okay. So Justin came back and went to Netflix and kind of scoured through the recommendations.
Yep.
And we chose Whiplash. Um,
Whiplash.
Whiplash. So you want me to tell you like a synopsis of?
Yeah, go ahead and give us a quick little summary of the movie.
Okay. You have Miles Teller, who plays Andrew, is a student at a prestigious musical college. I guess you say. It's
Yeah,
for
I guess I guess it's just music only, right?
right. I mean, they have
Right.
some math and science, but
Yeah.
arts is the thing for this school.
Okay.
All right. So he plays Andrew, and is it Neiman? With
Yeah,
Andrew.
Neiman, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. He plays Andrew, which is an aspiring drummer, jazz musician, drumming musician, and the J.K. Simmons is actually the teacher or the musical genius in the college, who basically brings up talent. He has the best band that he brings together and showcase these young talents. So basically, you have a musical genius trying to uplift or trying to bring on the next musicians into the arena. This happens in a New York setting. As you know, New York is probably one of the best musical or performing arts as far as musicians in the
Oh,
country.
all the best musicians probably live in New York. Yeah.
Yes, so you have a good atmosphere. There's good scenery. So he goes to school and he has troubles because he's trying to harness this talent within Miles or within Andrew, and he's a little old school, like way old school. Like, I'm going to insult you. I'm going to degrade you. I'm going to hit you even
Does
to
he
bring the
does he
best.
remind you a little bit of like Bobby Knight, the college basketball coach?
I heard of him.
Yeah.
He probably is worse.
Maybe Bobby Knight threw the chair across the court in the middle of a game, so who knows?
Well, if you notice, he wasn't going to ruin his reputation, but he did physically assault
Oh
a
yeah.
few students. So, however, I'm old school, and I'm not never going to assault anyone. However, I understand. I understand. I understand the drama of it, the reason behind it. However, it's you kind of walk the line as a professor and as a mentor per se.
Yeah,
So,
so I'm just gonna go ahead and jump in at then with one of my thoughts about the movies. This movie came out in 2014. Obviously, it's rated R, which makes perfect sense because of all the language mostly that J.K. Simmons uses. So basically, one of my thoughts was one of the questions I wanted to bring up. If this movie was made today in 2024, because a lot has changed in 10 years,
yes.
do they still make this movie? Because I feel like if 10 years ago, I think we were kind of okay with having a movie character like that. Is today's world okay with that?
No, absolutely not. We're way too sensitive.
Yeah.
This movie borders uh, it borders a lot of things. However, but LGBTQ or
Oh yeah.
excuse me, but it borders those acronyms, and it kind of insults
Yeah.
those folks to the umpteenth degree.
I mean, literally, yeah. So he makes fun. He basically calls every one of his students gay.
Yes.
Even uses basically, I'm gonna use the words that he uses in the game, so don't be mad. But I'm not gonna hold back because it's what he says. Gotta let the people know. But I mean, he basically says faggot. He,
Yes.
he says retard. I
Yes.
think he says cunt.
Yes.
Basically, the only word that he really doesn't say would be the racial word.
Yes. The
You
N word. Yep.
Yeah, that would basically be the only one that I think he kind of hold back from saying.
Yes. He is very old school, and you can tell he has an old school dialect, and he has old school ways, tendencies. When I
Yeah.
mean old school, I mean one way. There's only one way for him, and it's how I bring out the talent in you. This is how I do it. I insult you, and either
Yep.
you do one or two things. You either practice, get better, or you quit.
Yeah.
So,
No,
not
it's
saying not saying I don't like it. I do think we've gotten a little softer on our kids, and that's why our kids don't excel as much. However, I think there is a line that you
it's
shouldn't
somewhere in
cross.
the middle. Yes.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. I definitely see. You don't want every teacher to be like he is, but you also don't want there to be nothing like that at all, like you're saying.
yes, yes, I do want you to go home and think about this. A lot of
Yeah.
times now, kids that do not go home and think about their craft, their skill, their anything. So this right here, it incites a lot of other emotions in children.
Yeah.
This was a college kid, so he's still a child. However, he's being he turned the page. He's an adult. You should have some grounding, some grounded, something grounded in you to say, okay, he can't talk to me that way, or I'm not something. It should just be a little more foundation in his character, which he does have a little foundation. However, like you said, today's world,
Yeah.
this
Today.
would not fly.
Yeah. There's no way because in today's world, again, he calls them a retard a couple of times. Today's world, we're replacing that with another word now. I think they're calling it like a lot of places I see now. They just type out regarded, which I'm like,
Really,
that's yeah. But it's like if you just replace it with another word, it's not really.
same.
Now
It's the
you're just kind
same.
of
Yeah,
yeah,
same
you're basically
undertone.
turning
Yeah,
that word into you
a
know,
negative word.
but
Yes.
that's not the point. The point is they're trying to erase that word, and he uses it a few times, and I'm just like, first of all, I love when movies go that extra step because and that's one reason why a couple minutes ago I wanted to use the words that he used because I feel like there's so many times where not only do movies or TV shows, but also podcasts like this, where they just don't want to use those words. And I'm like, you know what though? But like in our case, I'm saying what he said, but in their case, they're really trying to get you to hate this guy, to dislike this guy.
Yes.
Think about it. Think about it. If he acts the same way, right, but uses lesser language, do you still have like a little bit of
No.
hatred towards him?
No. No. He's a positive mentor, and
Yeah.
and and he's still a positive mentor in my mind. However, it's being tactful and non-tactful, Justin. That's basically what this movie, with today's world, kind of it softens the blow right now.
Yeah.
Today's world softened the blow. Today's world, we talked about this a couple of episodes ago. Everyone get a participation reward, and
Hmm.
he tells you, no, I need you to do better.
Oh yeah.
F word, with all the superlatives and extra wording that he uses,
Oh yeah.
but it gets the point across. It lets you know that I'm not joking. So
No.
I'm not joking. It's not a game. Don't waste my time. If you don't want to be embarrassed by these things that I'm calling you, do what you have to do.
Yeah, and I want to kind of flip it over a little bit now and just talk about the actor himself, J.K. Simmons. Do you know him? Do you recognize him from other movies?
Yes, he plays in Spider-Man. He plays
Yeah.
in Oz. I mean,
Yep.
I don't know if you ever watched Oz, but he plays
Oh
in the
yeah.
prison
Oh
movie
yeah.
Oz. He plays in a lot of movies. I think he played in Spider-Man. He's a great actor.
Yeah, he was
From
in Juno, the Justice League.
mhm.
He's been in Thank You for Smoking, which is a very underrated movie that you probably haven't seen. He was also in Law and Order for a few
Yes,
years.
yep.
Yeah. Um, was this his best role?
Not to me. I think Oz was probably his best role because he plays the Aryan Brotherhood and he was undercover gay.
Yeah.
So, but uh, but he played the hell out this role.
Yeah.
Like you know
And
what? He almost played it like this is what he meant. He meant the words.
oh
Um,
man, that's one reason. So anytime that you have a character like this in a movie and they go that extra mile, it's like if they can sell me on it to where I actually believe that like they're enjoying it, which I
right.
felt like he was enjoying it, and that
Yes.
just I was sold. I think this was
Yep.
amazing. I think it was awesome. Yeah, I mean this dude, this was unbelievable.
Right. So don't get. So I just want to make sure that the viewers know. Don't get the acting confused with the storyline of the movie.
Oh yeah,
You can be a great actor in a bad movie.
yes,
I'm not saying this movie was a bad. I'm just saying
no,
I just want to kind of make sure that we understand your point. This particular actor played this part, well. It made
yeah,
it believable. The
and
story, yeah.
J.K. Simmons played it so well that he did win the Oscar for Best Supporting Actor.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
yeah, he
Yeah.
won it. Yeah, he won it in 2000. Well, I guess it was the 2015 awards. The movie came out in 2014. You know how they do the awards at the beginning of the year, but yeah, so he won, and then also this movie itself, Whiplash, was up for movie of the year. It did
Hmm.
not win for movie of the year though.
That's ironic because I've never heard of it until you said it,
Yeah,
and this happened to be a very uh, it's a good film. It's not one of those things you go see on opening day, in my opinion.
no,
However, it's one of those films you go see. Yeah, I got to go see that. I might go see it when a crowd dies down or something of that nature. But these are one of these films I probably would have went and saw.
yeah. This if I would have known about this movie when it came out, I definitely would have seen it. But let's talk a little bit about when it came out. So a little bit more details about the movie. It was 106 minutes, which I thought that's in a range where I like movies. It costed 3.3 million to make.
Yep.
It made 50.4 million. Pretty good, pretty
Yeah.
good turnaround. So we talk about seeing it in theaters, right? All right. So it came out October 10th,
Hmm.
2014. Opening weekend.
Oh,
Are you ready for where it finished opening weekend?
but
It finished 35th place.
okay. What happened on in 10 10 10? Right. That's what we done. 10 10 14.
Yeah, 10, 10, 14. Here's the top five movies, and I've seen one. I've seen one of them.
Okay.
So I don't think it's a great weekend. I really have no idea why. I guess people just didn't know about this movie, was what I'm thinking. But number one was Gone Girl. Have you seen that one
I heard of it.
with Ben Affleck? It's really good. It
Yes.
helped you for a
Yes.
while.
Yes.
Then you had Dracula Untold. I'm guessing that's a kids movie.
Hmm. Never
Yeah,
heard of it.
exactly. Okay, then you had Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day. Another kids
Did you
movie?
make some of those words up back in that?
No,
Oh, that's the
no.
name of the movie?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
no.
Um, Number four was Annabelle. That's a scary movie. I did
It's a
actually
scary
see that.
movie. I didn't see
Yeah,
it,
I did.
but I heard of it.
And then number five was The Judge. I don't even know what that is.
No.
So that's a crazy opening weekend. Now, for the whole year of 2014, this movie came out in October, so you don't really expect it to be too high up, I guess. But where do you think it finished based off of that first weekend? Where do you think it finished for the full year?
It probably didn't finish in the top 100.
No, not the top 100. No,
Yeah.
no, it finished 159,
Yeah, I can see that.
which is crazy. So it was right between the movie right below it was Cesar Chavez. Okay.
Right.
And the movie right above it was Meet the Mormons.
Meet the Mormons. Okay.
Yeah, I've never seen either one of those.
Either one. Either one.
Now, for the year, though, 2014 was actually a pretty decent year. I'll read off the top five for you for the whole
Okay.
year. Uh, Number one was Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm sure you've seen that, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, that's a very good one. Number two was The Hunger Games.
Yeah.
The next to last one, the third one.
Yeah.
So yeah,
It was okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it was decent. Number 3 was Captain America: The Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
Yeah. Number 4 was the Lego Movie. Got to have a kids movie always.
Lego movie. I saw that. I saw that.
Yeah. Number 5 was Transformers: Age of Extinction. I don't know exactly which one that is, but they were although the early ones were really good.
Yeah. Yeah. That was pretty good.
Yeah, so I think that's a pretty strong year. I feel like
Mm.
for the box
So
office here.
so I think everything that you named was besides the kids movies was like a venture or action. Like you
Yeah.
did the galaxy of Guardians of the Galaxy. What's number 2? You said
Number 2, I'm sorry. Number 2 was the Hunger Games.
Hunger action, and then
Yeah.
you had Captain America.
Yep.
Transformers is action.
Yep.
So and I think, to be honest with you, I think the marketing for this movie probably didn't do well. Where they marketed in a certain area, because those movies that we talked about there are chains, not chain, or
Yeah.
they're chains.
Franchises. Yeah.
Yeah, franchise, exactly, franchises, and of course you're gonna get the pub for those. This
Hmm.
movie is very underrated. I don't think it was marketed well, but it only markets to folks that maybe like jazz. I
Yeah.
would think somebody that love jazz would have watched this once they heard some of the once they read it. It wasn't marketed well, if you ask me.
Yeah, I feel like they didn't market it at all because I never heard about it when it came out. I didn't hear about it until a couple of years later, which is crazy because again, it had J.K. Simmons in it, who's been in a lot of stuff. Miles Teller,
Right.
really a great actor. I
Hmm.
mean, Miles Teller, he was, I guess his big role was what, Top Gun Maverick, I guess, was probably his big
Yes,
role.
I was trying to figure out who what he was. The
He was like
son.
the main character.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
the son of the one who died.
Yeah, I
Uh,
mean, he's been in
yeah.
some other movies though. He was in like one of the Fantastic Four. He was in Divergent. He was in all those.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
He's been in a couple of things. He's a pretty decent actor. He's not
Yeah, he's
bad.
very good. He's a very
Yeah.
good actor. I think his problem is though, and I figured it out while I was watching this movie because I've always wondered why he didn't become a bigger actor. I think his problem is he just looks too average.
Mm, I think
Like,
it. Yeah. Go
uh,
ahead.
yeah, I mean, think about it. Like, most movie stars, you're like, oh, that's a movie star. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right. Yeah.
the best movie stars. You're like, that's a movie star. Like with him, I think you're just like, that's a dude.
But I just think he on the range.
Yeah,
So when I say range, I mean acting. Acting.
yeah.
If you look at most of his movies, it's almost the same. He's the same person.
No,
Maybe,
that's
yeah,
true too. Yeah.
he's the same person. Like, but you get J.K. Simmons. He can play
Oh, he's
almost
all over.
anything.
Yeah.
Right. He plays the nerd in Spider-Man. He plays the villain. He plays the Aryan Brotherhood guy. He plays the undercover gay guy. So yeah, he just has some
Actually,
range.
I feel like J.K. Simmons is one of the most underrated actors, probably
He
in the last
is.
like
He
25
is.
years, 30 years.
Yes, he is. He's very underrated, but he's in everything. He may
Yeah.
not be getting the $20 million a show. I mean, a movie, but he should be getting at least 10.
Yeah. He's having fun doing what he's doing though. And that's
Right.
the main thing.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
let's dive into this movie. I got a couple other things before we get into our categories. Dude, I took a lot of
Okay.
notes in this movie. I was this big talking movie for me. So like you said, the movie's about Andrew who wants to become the drummer for the band, right? For the
Period.
jazz.
He want to be
Yeah.
the drummer. Period. And
Yeah.
that's his overall goal.
So,
Yes.
growing up, I always thought drummers were the coolest.
Yes.
Like, you think about a band, like a rock band, you're like, the drummer seems to be the coolest one. And maybe that was just because of Tommy Lee. I don't know. Maybe Tommy Lee, gets Pamela Anderson. Maybe that's why. But drummers are the coolest. Is that what you wanted to like? Did you play an instrument? Were you in a band at all?
I was in the marching band and I played the tuba, which is not sexy at all.
Well, I don't even know which one that is.
Right.
No,
It's not
which
sexy at
one is
all.
that?
So the big horn,
Which
the
one?
big white horn,
Oh yeah, dude,
the tuba.
I think that's a cool one too, though.
It's the only reason I played it because I was a big boy. So
Oh, so you could carry it.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Um, but it's not a sexy thing. Drums is always the sexier instrument,
yeah.
or saxophone. If you
Oh
play
yeah,
the saxophone, the
Kenny
drums,
G plays the sax, right?
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe a trumpet, but yeah.
I don't think I know which one the trumpet is either, dude. I'm out. I don't know any of the like. I don't really know any of the instruments in the actual and like the
Well,
marching band or anything.
I do, and the funny thing is, when I look at this movie, I can tell. So you may not have the ear. I can tell the difference in the bands. Like, you remember he walked into
Yeah.
the young band or the regular band, and the way they was playing, and then you listen to the way his band play. There's a difference. There
I
is a
mean,
difference.
to me, I couldn't really tell the difference. They just seemed louder. That was about it.
Yeah. So yeah, there's a difference, and
So, well, I'll keep that in mind because
right.
I want during one of our categories, I'm going to ask you about the difference.
Okay.
Uh, but there's a couple other thoughts I want to get to before, at least one more thought that I want to get to, one more question per se that I want to get to before we start our categories. So he goes to the movies with his dad, right?
Yep.
At the very first one, he throws the M&Ms into the popcorn.
Raisinets.
Yeah, are you a fan? Is that what you're doing when you go to the movies?
I've never done it. I might
Yeah.
try to throw some. I like goobers myself,
Okay. Yeah.
uh, but yeah, I never thought of it. That may be something new.
Man, I feel like it's become a popular thing here in the last few years because I never heard about it either till like, just within the last 5 or 6 years. But it's definitely something as a kid that I would have loved, and I don't know why.
Right.
You know,
I never
like
thought of it. Right.
yeah,
That
like I
was
could imagine, as little Justin going to see Pinocchio eating some M&Ms and popcorn. Like
yep.
I don't know, like where was that at? Like why did we not know about this?
We wasn't innovative enough.
Yeah, maybe we just weren't cool enough.
Right. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe, but you're absolutely right. That's something I do. Definitely do Reese's Pieces.
Yeah.
Uh
Oh, Reese
M&M.
Pieces, dude. Reese Pieces. That's my go-to at a movie. Popcorn and Reese Pieces. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, Reese's Pieces. Like I said, I like goobers,
Goobers
the
are good.
chocolate covered peanuts, but
Yeah.
but yeah, they had Raisinets, and that's still
Yeah.
good. I like butter all over my
Uh,
popcorn. I
yeah.
like, you go ahead and just clog my arteries.
Oh,
So
bro. The more butter, the better.
right. So yeah, and I did have the trick with the straw. You know about the trick with the straw?
No. Are you
This is
drinking the butter out of the bottom
this
of the bag again?
no, sir. This is some fat boy stuff I'm about to tell you now.
All right,
So
I'm all ears now.
so don't you know? Luckily, I have a straw here. Straw. And
Oh,
then
perfect.
so don't you know the butter comes out of the little spout and it comes
Yeah.
pouring down. You stick the end of the this end of the straw into the popcorn. You put it up over top of the thing, and you put the butter in that way. You start pushing the butter, and you do it again. So the butter can get the bottom, because
It gets to the bottom.
Butter's always at the top.
Yeah.
You gotta get butter all the way in. So then you shake the bag, then you do it again. Do it again.
It's genius.
I saw a kid do it about 10 years ago. I was like, oh, because usually you got to go back out, put butter on, but then the movie's
Yeah.
going on. You don't want to do that. So
I'm so next time I go to the movie, I'm getting some M&Ms and throwing them in my popcorn, and I'm getting the butter down at the bottom with the straw.
exactly, I'm trying to tell you, it's
Man,
it's a thing. It's a
I tell
thing.
you, next time Justin goes to the movies, that might be the last time you see him. It might be a heart attack coming. I tell you, because that sounds very unhealthy.
It's very unhealthy, and I've done it plenty of times.
I love it, man.
I think I got my kids doing it too.
Dude, I'm 100% trying that next time I go. Are you ready to start our categories, or do we need to mention anything else?
No, I don't know. We probably get into whatever I need to talk about, but
Okay.
I like some of the themes of the movie, and I like the old school, the old schoolness, like, if you will, of
Yeah.
the way. Again, this is one of those unique ways of bringing the best out in you,
Oh
like
yeah.
the Karate Kid. The average things. And if you look at this guy, J.K. Simmons, Fletcher, in this case,
Fletcher.
yeah. If you know anything about music, there are only certain directors or leaders of the band, leaders of any kind of orchestra, that can listen to something and kind of sense when something's off. He talked about tempo. He talked about pitch. he talked about a lot of things that people don't even realize that has to go into making a sound, making this one sound so uh, great.
Yep.
And it's a talent, or it's a true talent where you can take different instruments and make this harmonious. Make sure I say the word right. Make it harmony, and make all these instruments kind of blend together and make and be like a great sound.
All right.
Not everyone can do that.
Oh no, no, and I think that's why he was considered the best in the movie. Like he
Yeah,
was, like they all, they all kind of treated him as if he was the best, the best orchestrator or
yeah.
what do you call it? Yeah, the best instructor. But let's go ahead and get into our favorite scene because I definitely want to get into this talking point because you've kind of
Okay,
beat around it a couple times and it's involved in my favorite scene. Um, so I'll go first with my favorite scene. I kind of wrote down three,
right.
but just one that I really want to talk about, and that's the first day that Miles Teller, Andrew, the first day that he shows up for Fletcher's class,
Hmm.
and he's sitting there and he makes him play, and Fletcher keeps telling him, it's like it's too slow, too fast, or what was he saying exactly? You're
It's
dragging.
dragging. You're dragging.
Yeah.
And,
So I just love that scene because right away he's like, "Hey, just do your best." He's like, "Yeah, I'm here. I'm on your side. Like, do your best." And then instantly halfway through, he's like, "Nah." He's like, "I'm going hard at this kid." But first of all, did you like that scene? And secondly, can you
that's my
could you
favorite scene.
tell could you tell the difference? Like, was he dragging or
Right. So, and I'm glad you brought this up. That was my favorite scene
okay?
because that was my favorite scene, and I say that because again, once you in tempo, and I'm gonna give it something that you can equate to.
Yeah,
When you in stroke, and as far as shooting pool, you in stroke based on your timing of how you hit the ball.
yeah,
Right, you hit the ball. Same thing with music. If you go too fast, you're rushing. Now you feel like I feel rushed. You go too slow, now it becomes a different song. So, when you start talking about rhythm, talking about some rhythm, is a fast beat, you kind of is bopping. But if you slow it down, now you're not bopping no more, you're slow dancing.
no,
And he
yeah,
was right in between both. He was like, "You're dragging, you're dragging. I need you to up, I need you to pay it up." Then he anticipating stuff, so that means he's playing a beat where everybody else is on the backbeat. Meaning, they're now on the same beat he is, and the drums always drive the beat. The drums are the the driver of the how fast you go.
yeah,
If you ever knows any song, the drums is the one that drives the beat, fast or slow, fast or slow. And they drive that. And he has to be in a pocket to make sure that whatever this song was they was trying to play is kind of flowing, you know. And that was the main thing. And the funny thing is, I like the way. This is my favorite scene because I like the way he showed him. Are you dragging, or are you what do you say? He said anticipating. He said, um,
yeah. I can't remember exactly what he was saying, but he was like, "Yeah, basically, are you ahead or are you behind?"
right, and it was violent the way he did it.
Oh yeah, he slapped him.
Anticipating. He was right. He said, "Well, count the measure. One, 1, 2, 3, 4." And he
Yeah,
did it on purpose because he hit him before he got to the four. That means you was counting. You wasn't counting on the four. You counting on you anticipating the four. So
yeah,
and that's the thing that made him think about, oh, now I need to, music's about counting. I don't know if you know that. So
yeah,
basically, that's why they got those measures. Those it was 4/4, 2/4s, and all this other stuff. It's tempo, 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 and he wants you to appreciate the tempo of the music because he don't want you to. I want you to follow my time. He always say, I want you on my beat, not your own beat. So, and that's how he kind of keeps everyone on beat if you on his beat. And that's why he slapped him in the face on the before the fourth time, before the fourth slap.
yeah,
So if he was dragging, he would have waited,
yeah.
then smacked him. But at the same time, he was giving them the answer, but he had to kind of understand what he was saying.
He
It
definitely
was
got his pointer across. But could you tell what?
absolutely not,
No, okay,
absolutely not. I'm not that guy. I mean, after he said it, and I had to listen to because I rewinded it a couple of times just to kind of
yeah,
see if I could tell he was dragging. Yeah, so he was dragging.
I
When you
think
start doing it again, I could tell.
okay. Yeah, I think this is the first time too. I think out of all the movies we've done where we agreed on our favorite scene.
Yeah, well, that was my favorite. I like the scene.
Yeah, absolutely. I knew right there. I was like, this is the scene of the movie that I'm wanting to talk about. So, and I just like what happens after that. It really motivated him to get better because then he after that, right after that, he moves into like basically the practice room. He takes his mattress
Yeah,
down there, and then he basically practices for
ever.
hours, weeks, or whatever.
Yeah.
His hands are bleeding.
Yep.
I kind of like that part of the movie too.
Yeah, I mean, it was okay. I mean, hands bleeding. Yeah, I think they will blister and they will bleed if you
Oh
keep
yeah,
doing that. Yeah,
that's
I
why
know that for a fact.
that's why like a lot of like the rock, the rock band drummers will wear gloves.
Yeah, yeah, your hands will bleed, will blister. Um, and I don't know if you noticed in the first scene when he told him to play the rudiments. I don't know if you know what a rudiment is. A rudiment is almost like if I had to explain this, almost like a every drummer, every beat has rudiments in it. So there are certain rudiments. Let me say there's like 20 or 40 rudiments. And there's always a combination of rudiments within a beat. So that's just a drummer thing. I mean, you would
Yeah,
never know if you're not a drummer. So the first thing you learn when you play drums is doing the rudiments. Like, it's called like a paradiddle. Whatever the
okay.
paradiddle is, the first thing you learn is the rudiments. And then you learn how to do other things because everything is based off of rudiment. So it's
It's like the start. It's like the start of the. It's the start of the process, basically.
yes, absolutely started the process. You learn small rudiments and then they get a little more complicated. And it's
Gotcha.
helping you with your they call them chops. I mean, when you play the drums, it helps you with your
Yeah.
chops. So
Well, I like that we both agreed that his first day in class was the best, and also just the fact that he had him show up at 6 a.m. even though the class didn't start till 9. I think that
yeah.
was pretty awesome too. Just to see, I guess, if he would sit there all day.
Well, it showed him like showed who he was. It showed you build his character because usually it's anybody that really don't care that went back home and came back.
Yeah,
Um, he was like, "Nah, I'm just gonna sit here and I'm already here," which showed his character. Like, yeah, I'm vested in this.
for
I'm not
sure.
going to miss it.
There was just so much of that scene. I really feel like that scene also just kind of set the tone for the rest of the
It
movie.
did. It did.
Uh,
It definitely did.
yeah, I think there's two other scenes I kind of want to talk about really quick. Another one that I really liked was basically where the three drummers were kind of all three going back and forth to see who get up to pace. I just like it because, like I told you before, I just really like montages, and that was kind of like a semi montage where you just had them playing for like 3 or 4 minutes straight, each drummer, and I don't know, I just really liked it. I liked the competition that was going on. I liked just the steadiness that we had there.
Yeah, I mean, it was an okay scene for me. I think since I already knew the movie was about him, I knew he was going to win.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
because all of it kind of ran in parallel for me because all three of them was decent drummers, right?
Yeah, I think at that point in the movie, it was kind of predictable who was going to win their little competition.
Right, and you couldn't tell the difference.
No, no,
I needed a drastic difference for me to know,
yeah,
and it wasn't. It seemed like all of them was playing almost the same thing.
yeah. And I thought that was just me not being a musician, but I'm glad you said that too. And then I guess the other scene that I really want to talk about, the scene that I think that the director, the writer, the scene that they probably wanted us to pick for our favorite scene was probably the ending where he goes on the solo for like 10 minutes.
No,
Yeah,
no,
it was really cool, and I was glad that they got it in there because I think that's what they were wanting. But here, I'm gonna tell you what, and really honestly, maybe this could have been under my least favorite scene, but I do kind of like drum solos, so but I just figured like this is a good spot to talk about it. We did not need that scene in the movie. Maybe we could have used it earlier in the movie, but we did not need it at the end.
yeah. I could have done without it. I think it was too long. I think it was
Yeah.
too long. Um,
Also, I just feel like the whole movie was kind of too long. I think the movie could have ended. I honestly feel like this movie could have ended as soon as he attacked him on stage and got kicked out of school.
well,
I don't
I
like. You didn't need their little reunion, I don't think. I don't think we needed that.
It had to be a plot twist because it had to go. It had to do something had to happen. Besides that, like
It's
I
not
just
a
didn't.
it's not a big enough like it's not a big enough twist though.
It's it's not because it's almost anticipated. Like
Yeah.
he was going to break because he was going to have some kind of mental or some kind of break,
Yeah.
psychotic break, and but this is one of those things where it kind of shows you from a musician standpoint, being the best is practice, 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 and you get to that psychosis of drugs.
Oh yeah.
How can to me this is where you start using drugs to manage your mind, your anxiety, and this is why the greats, no matter what you have, I can say all of them, but no matter who you are, the greats musicians are all had some type of drug
Oh yeah,
addiction,
for sure.
because in their mind it got to be great, so they got to practice, and this young age of this college student trying to appease this guy because he's a great, it's like, I can't never live you'll never live up to his expectation.
Oh, for sure.
You'll never live up to his expectation, but realistically you surpass his expectations because you think you're nothing, and this is how he
Yeah.
wants you to think. But you thinking you're nothing, and you're just like one of the greatest. It's like it's almost compared to Michael Jordan and LeBron James. If LeBron James try to live up to Michael Jordan expectation, he'll never win. However, you surpass Michael Jordan realistically, like, but in his mind, he's still trying to live up to him. So, he's gonna try to do better, do
Well,
more.
not just in his mind, but in my mind too. He didn't
Oh yeah,
surpass.
yeah. I mean, it was just an analogy.
But
Just trying
it's a good analogy. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
to,
No, I just think, man, I just really feel like the movie, like I said, it could have ended. He gets kicked out, and then maybe like he just goes on and lives a normal life, or maybe, he gets back with his girlfriend and we have a happy ending. And I never really root for happy endings, so for me to say that is something. But or maybe he just joins like a small little like jazz band at the restaurant. I just didn't think we needed the whole reunion scene between Andrew and Fletcher.
the reunion scene was to let Andrew know that he was a great. That's the reunion scene. That was the thing.
Yeah.
Andrew stopped playing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He stopped playing. It's like the reunion scene let Andrew know that, okay, I know, first of all, let him know that I know you snitched on me, whatever. I know it was you. And the second thing is, you are a great. You just don't believe that you're a great. And
I, I mean, I know exactly what you're saying, and I get it. It's just, to me, it almost brought the movie down a little bit.
yeah, I mean, it, so the thing is, if they never, would he ever been back on the drums if dude never said nothing to him? Would he
I
ever
mean,
came back?
probably not, but I'm okay with that. I'm okay if that's how the movie ends.
Yeah, but but realistically, being a almost like a prodigy, what I mean, being almost like a prodigy, you want a LeBron James not to go to the NBA. You want a Michael Jordan not to go to the NBA.
I just think if the kid gave up the drums and never played again, I think it's a more realistic ending to this movie.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. So so what you want is like my thing is heartache, disappointment drives you to do go. It's an alter ending. So
Yeah.
that's an alternative ending, and it probably went when it went well. And he, his thing
I,
was the drums. Make that
I
your
just
thing.
think I think the problem was they just didn't know how to get to that big drum solo at the end, and they were like, "How do we get there? Oh, okay, this is what we do."
Right,
Like,
right.
so I
I,
think really my problem is with the drum solo. I think that should have been possibly way earlier in the movie, or just not happened at all.
yeah, I agree. I can agree with that. I,
Okay.
yeah, but
Well, let's so
my least favorite scene.
since we agreed on our favorite scene, you want to did you have a least favorite scene?
So my least favorite scene was the car accident.
Dude, are we agreed on everything here? Because that's mine too. That
Yeah,
is mine.
I just didn't. The sheer bad luck that this guy had from,
Yeah,
he's in New York City, one for one.
yeah.
There are cars, there are things everywhere in New York. he gets on a bus. First of all, I'm wondering why he's on a bus and not on a train.
The subway. The subway.
Right. Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
The L is what as they call it. I'm
Yeah.
like, what's the you're on the L? I mean, you're not on the L. You're on a bus. The bus catch a flat tire.
But dude, also, have you been to New York?
Yes.
I've never even, I don't even know if I've ever even seen a bus really.
I've seen a bus.
I mean, I've seen a bus, but honestly, like, they're not that many.
right there. I don't see the. It
A
was just
taxi,
weird.
a taxi
Yes.
or a subway is the way to go.
And he goes and get a rental car. Like really?
Yeah. Yeah.
That right there just kind of throws me. He gets a rental car, and he goes back and he gets in the car accident because he left his drumsticks. If I'm the man, you're gonna give me your sticks. We're
Yeah.
gonna share these sticks. I don't go back if I'm
But
the guy.
also after the wreck, does he not get in trouble? Like, obviously he ran a stoplight or something.
Right.
Is kind of how I figure what happened. But nothing happens. Like, he's not arrested. He's not in jail. And then he walks away. He flees the scene of an
He
accident.
flees the scene of an accident. Like, this is ridiculous. But they try to show you how he wanted to please this guy so much that he'll basically walk through fire.
Which, and I get that. Again, I get it. I get the reason behind everything they do in this movie. It just
it's not realistic.
So unrealistic.
Right. It's not realistic. This is horrible. I just couldn't. I mean, that was horrible. Like, there's no way he gonna get out of that car. I think he got hit by a truck on his side, T-boned on his side. He's crawling out the window.
He shouldn't even be able to get out of the car.
Let alone try to play the drums.
Yeah.
Hands. Yeah. I just, and then, but the guy let him do it. And that's another thing. Like, I see him, he's in that show. He's disheveled, bloody. And you gonna let him on the stage? No.
Yeah. That whole, I like how the scene ended with him attacking him, because I felt like that was like, okay, like, he's pissed off at this guy. He's gone crazy. But yeah, how they led up to it, man. Just, the car wreck, everything, not a fan.
Yeah, but he gone crazy for it's, to me, it's self-inflicted. Yes, I gave you this unrealistic expectation, but you didn't jump out of a car and you messed up. You're messing up. I can tell you if something's wrong. You should have just tucked your ego and just said, go ahead, whoever the redhead guy was.
Connolly.
Just go ahead and
I agree. I agree with you 100%, man. I think it was it just didn't make no sense, dude. I really don't get it. Let's move on to our favorite character. Let's see if we keep agreeing here, because we agreed on our favorite scene. We agreed on our least favorite scene. I'll let you go first here. I don't think we're going to agree on this one, so I'll let you go first. Favorite character of this movie
is the instructor, the teacher, Fletcher.
We agree again. Definitely by far my favorite.
Yes, I like his character because I like old school rules. I mean, yes, he's a little vulgar, and I got a little sensitive in my older age. However, it brings back old school, like teachers that I had back in the day that they didn't go that far, but they went far enough to the point of I'm pulling the greatness out of you, so I'm treating you like trash. And then your reward is you getting better. People see you. People like, oh, that's the best drum I ever heard. Blase. So
no, I loved it, man. I loved how he acted. I love J.K. Simmons did a great job in that role. But also, as I said earlier, I just pretty much always like the character that goes that extra mile, because in real life, that's how he's going to act. He's not going to. As too many of these movies try to get to this certain point and be like, oh, we can't go anymore. And it's like, so we just hold it back. And it's like, it wouldn't be the same if it was like, if he wasn't cussing and calling them names and, making fun of them. It would just be like, okay, he's just talking trash to him. Like, that's not, like, then actually he would have probably been my least favorite character, because I would have been like, dude, like, can we do something here? Like,
well, you have to understand too. This guy, this is a performance art school, right?
Yeah,
So the kids in performance arts are not as
they're not tough. They're not as tough.
yeah, they're not
Yeah.
verbal. They're not gonna you have you noticed everyone looks down? Everyone
Oh
don't make
yeah.
they don't make eye contact. And
And
this is
we saw multiple crying.
right, right. These folks are soft. And I hate to
Yeah.
say it like that. I apologize to anybody that I offend, but
Man, if
it's
they're offended by that, just don't watch this.
right. It's a fact. They're a little soft, and yeah. So yeah, he also, and I think one of my other I'm sorry, I'm going back. I'm going to backslide a
That's
little
fine.
bit.
It's
My
fine.
favorite scene was the show the confidence. He tested confidence, and
Oh yeah,
the
big
guy
time.
and the guy in the scene with was it the saxophone or the trombone? It was probably the trombone, and he called the guy Elmer Fudd or something.
Yeah,
Um,
Elmer Fudd, yeah. And then
yeah,
he kicks him
so
out, right? Because he
he
doesn't know
kicks him
that he's
out.
off key.
Right,
Even
it's
though he's
the
not off key. It was the other guy.
right. So that's a test in confidence. Like
Yeah.
if you're confident in your role, no, I'm not off key. No. And then but the thing is, these kids were so scared. But I guess for the other kids, he probably was the weakest player. That's why he got him out of there. But
Yep, for sure.
for the other kids, they should be like, okay, I'm sure in my ability, and that's what he really wanted you to. Because if you're sure, like you sure in your ability to shoot pool, and that shows
Yep.
when you shoot. But some people that's like like myself, sometimes I be like, I'm gonna think I'm a little nervous, and I hesitate on a shot, and I miss a shot because I hesitate. It's not that I can't hit it because I'm hesitating. I'm not confident in the shot or confident in the game. It's the same thing with music. Same thing with anything.
Oh yeah.
If you're confident, you're going to hit the shot or hit whatever 9 times out of 10. But when you start hesitating and start playing and start not knowing what you're doing or think you don't know what you're doing, you're going to make mistakes.
Yeah, I think he's a great teacher, man. I think he made each one of those students better. And yeah, he might not have done it the correct way in today's world, but at the end of the day, he was successful. He helped these kids become men. He helped them achieve their goal of becoming better musicians. And again, bravo to J.K. Simmons for just doing one of
Right.
the best jobs that I've seen in a movie lately.
Yeah, I did like I did I do like him. That was my favorite actor.
For sure. Absolutely. Let's go on to least favorite character here. We might disagree on this one, I feel like, because we got to disagree on something here. We're kind of agreed on all the categories so far. Least favorite character. There's only 9 characters in this movie, by the way. There's literally only 9 characters that are mentioned in the credits. So, James, Mr. 2000, who is your least favorite character in this movie?
Probably the girlfriend.
Gosh, man, dude, we really agree on all of them.
Probably the girlfriend. And the only reason it wasn't the second role that she played, it was the date role that
Yeah.
made me not really like her. And it wasn't the she didn't know what she wanted to do as an adult. It was just like how defensive she got when he asked, like, what do you want to do? What, because you go to whatever the school is, and I go to Fordham. Why'd you go to Fordham? Because it's Fordham, because I
Yeah.
got accepted. Like it was like so defensive for no reason. And she didn't, it just I just didn't like the exchange.
Yeah, I think, yeah, I liked how she acted before he asked her out. By the way, Nicole is her name. She's played by Melissa Benoist. I think I pronounced that right. She
Okay.
plays Supergirl on the TV show or whatever.
Oh, didn't know.
Supergirl. I never watched it, but just letting you know. No, there's 2 reasons. There's 2 other. So you don't like her because of that scene. I don't like her because of 2 other scenes, which being when he breaks up with her. There's no fight. Where's the fight? Do
Right.
you actually like this guy?
Yeah, she's kind of went with it.
Yeah. I'm like, dude, obviously you didn't even like this dude because you literally didn't fight at all. And then secondly, at the end, when he calls her to invite her, she answers, okay, cool. She waits till like the end of the conversation. Like, oh, I actually got a
Exactly.
boyfriend. Why are you even answering the telephone?
Right. You could have just cut that out. Why are you calling me? Have
Yeah.
a conversation. Like, he didn't. I don't even think he apologized, to be honest with you. But
No, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
yeah,
he's a horrible boyfriend though too,
yeah.
probably.
But I don't think he's a horrible boyfriend. But you got to understand those fanatics.
Yeah.
They fanatics,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
and then, so it reminds. You be honest with you, and I hate to say it. And he's my guy. This is my guy. He reminds me of Jacob. He
Well, he's
reminds
in the
me.
pool. Yeah.
Right. He's a fanatic. He's a fanatic, and I'm sure Jacob got some love interest, whatever, whoever it is.
I could see him breaking up with a girl and being like, "Hey, listen, you're getting in my way of playing pool. Like, I'm sorry."
Exactly.
Like,
Exactly. And if you notice, I don't know how much you talk to Jacob. Jacob got a lot of random information, just like
mm-hmm.
this guy. Anything with music or anything with drums, he knew who the drummer was when the music was
Oh yeah, playing at the
released.
little pizza place. Yeah.
Right. So it was, yeah. I mean, that's what it reminded me of. That was funny when I was just sitting there listening to it and talking about, like, I can hear Jacob saying something crazy like this to this girl.
That's awesome. That's a great comparison. No, I like it, man. I think I also love the fact that we agree. We both really like this movie. We both agree on our favorite scene, favorite character, least favorite character.
Yep.
That's crazy. Mark that down. Probably the only time it'll ever happen, especially coming from a movie that we have literally never
Never
watched
watched.
until
And
this
we
week.
didn't watch it together. We didn't watch it
Yeah,
together, folks.
no. Yeah, not because you had already seen it by the time I even texted you that I was watching it.
Yeah, yeah. And I watched it
Yeah,
again
so
just to kind of
oh yeah, I watched it a little bit this afternoon. I didn't make it all the way through, but I watched it a little bit this afternoon
yeah.
before we started recording. So some of our some of our other categories here, um, The Rock. What happens if we put The Rock in this movie?
I don't know where you put him at, as a bouncer somewhere, but I
No,
don't
no, just put him. No, just put him literally just straight in there as either the teacher or the student.
know.
How bad of a movie would that be?
It would be real bad because he probably killed Dagon instructor if he was a student.
Oh yeah, yeah, it would be. And then if he was the teacher, it would just be hilarious. Like
Right.
not in a good way. Like I would be laughing at it.
This would be a
Not,
comedy. This would be a
yeah,
comedy.
it wouldn't be a comedy. It would just be me laughing at how bad it is. Yeah,
Right.
try again, Rock. We'll try again next time. Nudity. Could there have been nudity in this movie? It's rated R. It's rated R.
Um, I think they could have showed some more of the college scene. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Like I had at least one party scene or something.
yeah, party scene. You could have had
Yeah.
some titties somewhere.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I mean, I
Not
would
not a
definitely.
whole sex scene, but yeah.
Yeah, there was no need for a sex scene or anything like that, but definitely like a party scene or something. Could this movie use a sequel, a prequel, or could they just turn it into a TV show?
I don't think they can do. I don't think they can do anything with it as far as a. I don't even know. No, I think
Oh man,
this is good to me.
I disagree completely. We finally disagree on this. I disagree
Okay.
completely. You give me a TV show of J.K. Simmons as the teacher, I'm in. I'm watching it. I'm watching him just berate these kids, talk trash to these kids. Give me 10 episodes, I'm watching all day long. He'll be like
Yeah.
Gordon Ramsay on Hell's Kitchen. Like
But
that's how
the plot doesn't change, and that's my thing. Like, the plot doesn't change.
No, yeah,
Only thing you watching for him is to
yeah,
berate these kids. That's it.
yeah,
The
but
plot doesn't change. It's the same thing. Probably a different instrument or a
yeah.
different, yeah. But he's gonna do the
But I'm
same
just
thing with
saying,
every kid.
I would watch the crap out of that though. Like if they did that, I would be like, I'm in. Like I don't even care what the instrument is. I don't even, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't even care who the student is. Just J.K. Simmons as a teacher. Like you could just change it all up. Just give me J.K. Simmons as like an English teacher in high school. I don't even care. Like
You just want to hear him just kill these
I,
kids. Yeah, they crazy.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think this was just like a perfect role for him. And I think, he should have it's amazing that he didn't find another role like this because I really feel like that could have been his calling and it could have brought him to that next level.
Yeah. Him insulting kids, and you like that.
I just think it's against what you normally see.
Yes. I get
Like
that.
normally you're seeing the teacher be like, oh my God, you're so special. Like, oh wow,
So,
like we can
yeah,
do this. Yeah, and it's like over the top the other way where it's like they're too sensitive, they're
right.
too caring. I'm like, man, there's not too many teachers like that. Now there's not too many teachers like him either, but it's like we need, it's like realistically it's in the middle. So it's just cool to see this because it's so much different than how teachers are normally in movies.
Yes, but again, was 2014. I don't think the movement has it wasn't in full flight. So the
No.
sensitivity of students or people wasn't as. And if you took this movie back until 1993 or maybe 2003 or
Yeah.
1993, it probably fly off the handle because if you notice, the drummers back then were, yeah, I don't know, these them drummers. There were some good drummers in the 70s and 80s and
Oh yeah.
90s. I'm not. I know some of the old ones, but these new ones I just don't know.
I think this movie would have been way bigger if it was made in 1994.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
And maybe even 2004, because then you would have been coming like on the heels of Drumline, which was a pretty popular
Right.
movie with Nick Cannon. I know you've seen that one, right?
Yes. Yes. I've seen that.
Yeah,
The
so can you imagine if this movie came out the same year as that? Like,
It might have been. It might have came up a little further up in the charts. It probably would have been number 10, but
yeah.
because you got to appreciate music for this, appreciate the music for this.
Well, yeah.
And but I do think like earlier in the if this was thought of earlier, like you said, 94, 2004, it'd have been a blast.
Absolutely. Is there any other categories that we've hit on? Is there anything else that you want to hit on?
No, no, I think like I said, if you watch this movie, it's a good movie. Understand, it gives you a better perspective of music and how things are orchestrated and how
Yeah.
how this one instructor kind of makes sure everything is ticking ties
Yeah, I
to it.
think so. I created an account on Letterboxd, which is like it's a site where you can like rate movies and make a list of movies that you've watched, and it has a rating system. So I gave this one 3.5 stars out of 5.
I give it a 4.
Yeah.
If I had to, I give it a 4. It was a good movie. I can watch this movie again.
Yeah. Oh, I could definitely 100% watch this movie again. I actually gave so I started my Letterboxd account last week when we did Karate Kid. I did give the Karate Kid 4 stars, so I think this one's about a half star below it.
Okay, okay, yeah,
But
but
make sure you sign up, follow me.
okay, okay, will do
Um,
so.
yeah, no, I definitely recommend Whiplash to all you people out there. It's on Netflix right now. It's one of the top movies. Are you surprised this is one of the top movies on there?
No, have you
Really?
seen the movies? Time Cut was the top movie, right?
Well, yeah, but that's like that fits with today's world. Like this does not fit with today's world. We've been talking about for an hour now. Like,
Yeah,
just
this,
saying, I,
this
I don't. That's crazy. Yeah, are we back? Sorry, we had a little flat. I hit something there. I apologize. Yeah, I think so. Overall, though, great movie. Definitely highly
right.
recommend it. Y'all make sure you look up Film is Literature on YouTube. Watch us. Watch all of our past episodes. We've been doing a lot of these now.
Yes, we have. We might have to take a little hiatus for the holidays. As you can see, what is it? As you can see,
Christmas is
uh,
coming up. Yes.
Christmas is coming up, and some of us will be off out of town, out of the country, whatever. Um,
We'll come back. We'll come back with another movie. I kind of like what we've been doing just by picking one of the top ones on Netflix.
right, and I think now you know it's all of them going to be like Christmas movies or holiday movies, something that got to do with the holidays. But you want to kind of get out of the holiday ones because it's like boutique. So it's one of those things.
Yeah, I mean, I was literally the other day trying to think of my top 5 Christmas movies, and I literally could not even think of 5.
Right. And the thing with that is we want to rate movies that you can watch all year round, not just when
Yeah,
you getting that feeling of Christmas, you know.
exactly.
So
If we do a Christmas movie, it'll probably be like Home Alone or Die Hard.
yeah, well, I haven't seen those in there since the 80s, probably.
Well,
Or
there you go. But neither one of them really have anything to do with Christmas either.
true, but it's happened during the Christmas time. So yeah,
Both of them happen on Christmas Day, so that's the
right.
only reason why they're Christmas movies.
Yes. Yes.
But you could put both of them on Fourth of July, and they could be Fourth of July movies also. So
Right, right. So and I think that's probably a good to stay away from any kind of those Christmas movies or anything that has something to do with a holiday. Something I can
agreed.
watch on a Tuesday in May.
Yes,
You know what I'm
yes,
saying? So
agreed, 100%. James, it's been a lot of fun, man. You got any last words here for the people?
No, my last word is happy holidays. Be safe out there. Don't do nothing I wouldn't do, which is leave your wide open. However, drink responsibly. Enjoy your family. Uh, let's go to the next year better than what you was this year.
I love it. I love it. That's great advice. Hopefully, everybody was listening. We've had a lot of good stuff to say during this episode. Appreciate you all watching. We'll check you later.
All right.